Yeah, what's going on, mother lovers? This is Mystro AKA MysDiggi, right here with UKHH.com, you fass! My first single was in '99, the end of 1999 with Deal Real Records. They decided they wanted to start up a record label, and they used to have an open mic session. I went on my own. I was too scared to go on my own. I brought a friend with me. And then, you know, from then, I just went there spitting on the mic and whatnot. And then gradually, I think over, a couple months, period of maybe 2 or 3 months, they were like, yo, this guy's nice. And then they were saying they want to do, they want to start a record label. They wanted me to be the first artist to release, so yeah. You know, we used to learn lyrics by like writing down the person's verse. So if it was like, say like Master Ace or Rakim or something, those are the ones I can remember. And we used to rewind the tape and then write down the verse, and yeah, keep rewinding it and writing until you had the whole verse, and then you could rap the verse along with it. And we were really young, and he was like, why don't we try and write our own verses? And write your own verse. It was like, okay. But I never really took it seriously until I got really ill. Friends started visiting me at the hospital and all that. Like they were saying, oh, you nearly died, and all that kind of talk. You're thinking, right, what would if that did happen, would I be happy with where my life has gone so far? People like Jay Dilla, Eminem, I like Scarface, Devin the Dude, Homeboy Sandman, I like Ramps and Bad Bones, Jargon, obviously. Tony Dangerous. Like my favourite rapper is Black Thought. He's always got a new verse, there's always something fresh. I think I probably get more inspiration from everything else apart from rappers, if that makes any sense. I just feel like I want to be able to put out as much original sort of content as I can. And so I think the best way to do that is to not really kind of get overindulged in listening to loads of different rappers and whatnot. But I still listen out for a lot that goes on, because you gotta be hip, innit? But non-hip hop wise, my favourite band is a band called a.k.a. They're like a Cuban band, Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye. I like D'Angelo. Who I like lately is Mumford & Sons. I like Mumford & Sons. But yeah, I try not to get too into like being influenced by just the one thing, or just by music or whatever. I try and let everything influence me, and in that way I can do what I want. Yeah, Mumford & Sons. People think it's weird, but if you listen to the Mumford & Sons, yeah, you're gonna hear more rhythm and blues than you will in today's R&B. So Mumford & Sons, all that, man. All that new boy, fam. I've managed to travel around the world like about 11 times with it. I've featured on a few, a couple platinum selling albums, and there's a lot of highlights, put it that way, and I think there's still a lot more to come. One of the really top highlights were, people like Dave from De La Soul saying, yo, we need to do a song, and then we actually did it. Next minute we're in the studio and he's asking me, yo, so how many other, how long a verse should I be doing, and all that kind of stuff. And that, for someone that I grew up listening to, as a kid, and then the next minute we're in the club or whatever, and he's going, yo, I love what you do, and blah, blah, blah. Yo, we need to do a song. That's definitely a big highlight for me, and it kind of means a lot more to me than all the money that I could be making or whatnot, because I didn't really do it for all of that in the first place. It was more just to kind of do something that I know I could enjoy. Yeah, I guess I am, man. It's the one thing that I got that can remind people, that I'm good at what I do. So in case I never make another album or whatever, I'll always be doing the rap-ups for you mother lovers. A lot of people kind of hit me up and they said things to me that kind of made me realise that I obviously wasn't in the right, in my right state of mind, just saying, oh, I quit. At the time, I kind of felt like the whole quitting thing was probably what I needed to do, because it just felt like the whole game, the whole way of like the culture is kind of been thrown out the window, and now it's this like pretending. Everyone's happy to pretend, and everyone's happy to be lied to. Everyone's kind of cool with uncool people pretending they're cool. You know, it feels like the line between corny and cool really been blurred. You know, a good example is just the other day, I was at a well-known radio station, and they're hip-hop DJ or whatever. I'm meant to be there as the legend or whatever, one of the legends, and then they're hip-hop DJ. You just walk straight past. This is the hip-hop DJ, remember? It's not like, you know, the grime DJ or the R&B DJ, which is fair enough, but if I'm meant to be a legend and you're a hip-hop DJ, aren't you meant to kind of make some kind of acknowledgement or whatnot? And that's the kind of thing that you see a lot out here. I'm sure that it's like that worldwide, but I'm not really the type of person to just sit down and go, oh yeah, well, you know, that's how it is, that's how the industry is and whatnot. I just feel that all in all, we need to try harder to kind of build an industry within the UK regarding the hip-hop culture and what people know it to be, as opposed to what they think it is. And it just feels like a lot of the youngers aren't really getting educated on what hip-hop culture is. All they know is rap, and that's it, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really know about the b-boying, the graffitiing, DJing. It all seems like it's kind of dying out in a weird way. Beatboxing, even though there's still, you know, we've got like battle leagues and beatbox battles and whatnot. It still feels like the sort of culture of hip hop is getting lost, and I don't really want to be part of all of that, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, people were talking to me and saying things that I should have been thinking about really, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just alright, I don't quit, I'm just going to get this off my chest. So I wrote this track, Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, to hip hop better wake up, and yeah, I'm back, man, and Mystrogen is coming for your face. First of all, it's my debut LP, so you're gonna see a big difference. You know, like I've been working on it for the last sort of 3 to 4 years, I'd say. So in between that time, like I've worked on tracks, I thought this is for the album, as opposed to like just go, oh yeah, I'll put this on there. So in between that time, I've dropped the FDT, the Digman Freud EP, and the What Type of Drug is Mystrogen EP. Also, you know, there's production on there from Flacco, who I haven't worked with before, Mr. Thing, who I haven't worked with before, Side Specs, originally from the Creators, First Man as well, and Show and Prove. So that's a bunch of producers I've never worked with before. You never heard me work with before, as well as Black Einstein, a.k.a. Colin Emmanuel. And you know, compared to everything else, Mystrogen it really is a drug, you know what I mean? It's something that you taken through the ear, and there's only one side effect that could be repetitive use, but that's your fault, you know what I mean? But other than that, you know, I've got features on there from Homeboy Sandman and from Junior Reid, Thomas Jules, Lloyd Brown, and a few, Daniel DeBourg as well, and Xavier Barnett. But I kept the rap features to a minimum, just Homeboy Sandman, that's it. Unless you pre-order the album and you get my brother Jargon on a bonus track. And man, you know, I felt really good about putting this album together. I always feel good about all my projects, but because this is like, you know, the first album where, you know, a solo album, as opposed to like the Diggy Down Under stuff, which is more of a collaborative project featuring, you know, if I did a solo album, I wouldn't have as many features on there as that. And so yeah, you know, it feels good to finally be able to get it out there. Lyrically, you know, I'm taking it to other places that others can't go, and obviously flow-wise as well. And then the beat selection, you know, I just tried to keep it original, try and keep it myself. But yeah, I just can't wait for people to hear it, man. I'm looking forward to the feedback on that. Mystrogen, it's like oxygen, only you need it a whole lot more, you fast. That feeling of, you know, like you feel like you've come back from a journey. You feel like what just happened there, and you know that rewind button is gonna get used up. That's one thing for sure, because you know, it's just, there's a lot of stuff on there that you just haven't really heard before, or no one's bothered to take it, you know, to that extreme or whatnot. And at the same time, man, I didn't want to keep it all just one side of what I do. Like, people know that I do, you know, the underground head nod, whatever, and do, you know, a bit of the abstract, more kind of party stuff as well, and obviously drop a little knowledge here and there. So I tried to keep all of that in there. Everything that is Mystro is, you know, it's been put into that album. So I think you're going to definitely walk away feeling satisfied, and, you know, feel like you just came off a roller coaster ride. Yeah, I think it's growing, man. It's growing even stronger now. I think like we've managed to sieve out all the leeches and, you know, the kind of the people that are just in it to try and make money off of talented artists who don't really know how to turn it into a business just yet. I think, you know, we got the youngers, like, I like what High Focus is doing. I like the LTMA crew. Obviously Bad Bones is out there quite strong as well. You know, we've got the Don't Flop thing, it's massive. Like, that's definitely giving like UK hip-hop a platform. And I think it's still growing. It's a shame that, you know, I think the only shame is that it feels like there's a, you know, there were a few of my peers that, you know, I looked up to coming up, and then it just feels like a lot of them have been forgotten about in a way. But I guess that, you know, it's like everyone's to blame in terms of them being more, you know, just getting more stuff out, being more consistent, as well as the ones that do know of them that have still got a voice, kind of letting it be known that these are the dudes that paved the way and whatnot. But I think on the whole, we're all still learning quite a lot. I'm definitely learning, and it's beautiful. You know, I'm proud to say that I'm learning from people that are, you know, that are younger than me doing this thing as well. That's quite a good look, because then it lets you know that people, you know, in the future there's going to be cats that are like coming up and going, oh, that's how to do it, and that's how I should do it, rather than, for me, it was like not really knowing and then not really getting told either. Now you got the internet, like, you know, in a big way. It's so much easier to do the research and find out, you know, what distro someone's using, or who they've pressed up with, or all of that kind of stuff. Whereas for me, it's like you had one or two people you could ask, and they didn't really want to let you know because that's where they're making their money, you know. So that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm loving where it's going now. But at the same time, still have to tell a few people to wake up. Yeah, man. Shout out to Dan DNA. Shout out to Teach. Shout out to Hoochinu. Shout out to UKHH, of course. Defacer. Shout out to my brother Jargon. Ransom Backbones. Shout out to Amanda Starr. Shout out to Don't Bizznizz, that's my label, so look out for that. They're releasing the Mystrogen album. And who else did I forget now? Whoever I forgot, shout out to you, mother lover. Tell you a joke, oh man. I'm not really good at remembering jokes. I'm more of a like freestyler, so I'm gonna tell you something about, you know, when you know, like, this is what happened to me today anyway. You know, when you walk past someone and they're asking, you know, it's a homeless person obviously. Well, not obvious, but you know, they're asking me for money. Usually that's a homeless person, right? So I'm walking past and I'm looking, excuse me, if you got any change? And then I'm looking at the dude and I'm looking at the dog that he's with. And you notice when you're with a homeless person or a homeless person with a dog, the dog always, you know, they always turn, the homeless person here, they turn that way. And they're kind of like, you know what I mean, the lead is always mad, like, man, they got to keep the dog with them. And you got to imagine, for a dog, you know, their sense of smell is like 100 times stronger than ours, right? How are they dealing with being with a homeless person? You know, that's why the dog is looking like that, but anyway. You be looking at the dog, like, bruv, if you let go of the dog, I might give you some money, because right now, you know what I mean?